Let's review Pesachim Daf Kuf Dalet. The Gemara refers back to the memory from Rabbi Elazar Amar Rabbi Oishia that by Havdalah we either mention 3 Havdalahs or 7 Havdalahs. And the Gemara asks a kasha from a brisa that says that you only have to make 1 Havdalah. The Gemara says it's a machlokes Tanoim. There are Tanoim who hold the 3 and the 7, but there's also a Tana known as Benon Shel Kedoshim who says that it's only 1 Havdalah. And that Benon Shel Kedoshim, the Gemara says, is referring to Rabbi Menachem Bar Simoi because he never looked at the Tzurasa de Zuzah. He never looked at money. The Gemara fears ois, halacha lemaisa, we paskin 3 or 7 and not just 1 Havdalah. Rabbi Shua ben Levi brings down a memra that during Havdalah, all the Havdalahs we mention have to be those that are mentioned in the Torah. And the Gemara lists off through a brisa what these are. There's Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil, which is mentioned in the Torah. Ben Or L'Choshech is mentioned in the Torah. Ben Yisrael La'amim is mentioned in the Torah. Ben Tomei L'Tar is mentioned in the Torah. Ben Mayim Hoel Yoinim L'Mayim Tachtoinim is mentioned in the Torah. And between Kohanim and Leviim and Yisraelim. Those are the 7 Havdalahs that are mentioned. The last thing that we say is Ben Yom HaShvi L'Sheish Masa. That's not one of the Havdalahs that are written in the Torah. That's just finishing off the bracha Me'ein Chasima. Then the Gemara focuses on how we end the bracha of Birchas Havdalah. So the Gemara brought a svara who says that you answer Baruch Soider Bereishis, or Baruch Yoitzer Bereishis, or Baruch Mekadesh Yisrael. But Shmuel says that the bracha that we make is Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil, which is in fact the bracha, the chasima that we use nowadays. That's our maskana. The Gemara brought down from Rabbi Shua ben Chananya that if you're choshim with both chasimas together, both Mekadesh Yisrael and Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil, it will give one arichas yomim. However, the Gemara says that's not the halacha. We pass like Shmuel that you only end off the bracha with one thought, and that is Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil. The Gemara tells us a story how Ula once came to Pumbedisa, and Rabbi Yehuda wanted to know how Ula made Havdalah. So, under the pretext of giving Ula a gift, he sent his son Rabbi Yitzchak to bring a basket of dates, of peiros, to give to Ula so that he could watch him make Havdalah. In fact, Rabbi Yitzchak didn't go. He sent Abaye in his stead to do it. When Abaye came back, Abaye said that what Ula said was Baruch Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil. That was the bracha, which means he just made the bracha of Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil. The Gemara asked the kash on him from a brisa that dictates how brachas are made. And it says, Kol ha-brachas kulan pesech b'baruch v'choshin b'hen b'baruch. You have to start with the baruch and end with the baruch. Ula didn't. He just started with the baruch. He said Baruch Hamavdol ben Kodesh L'Choil, but he didn't end with the baruch. The exceptions in the brisa are birchas ha-mitzvos, which are very short brachas. So therefore, we don't have to start and end with the baruch. Or a bracha smuch l'chavita, such as the brachas in Shmoyna Esrei, where we don't start with the baruch. Or a bracha achrona sheb'Kriyas Shema, the bracha after Kriyas Shema, since emes v'yatzav leads right into that bracha, we just say it's a continuation of the previous brachas. So once again, it's considered bracha smucha l'chavita. Those are the brachas that are exceptions to this rule. However, a regular bracha would start with baruch and end with baruch, which is shver on Ula. The Gemara says Ula wouldn't be shver because even though the Havdalah includes some arichos in the bracha, it's not as short as a standard brachas and mitzvahs, but it stays only on topic about Havdalah only, and therefore you don't need an extra baruch at the beginning and at the end. However, the only time we throw in the baruch at the beginning and the baruch at the end is when they're sort of going off the focus of the bracha with a tchina or a ritzui or a certain shvach. That's when you have to say a baruch at the beginning and a baruch at the end. But since Havdalah, all the elements in the bracha are sticking strict to the topic of Havdalah, it's enough to just say one baruch.